Hey. What's going on, guys? What is going on? It is the one and only XP and Mr. Blue Games himself in the house, guys. What is
Oh
going on,
yeah.
man?
Oh yeah. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome
Oh,
back.
yeah.
It's your boy Blue and our best friend here, XP, in the building for our first premiere episode of the Blue
And
X Experience.
there you go. And let me say this. This is not what you expected, but this is what you need. And you'll soon know why you need this.
Yes, I 100%
Absolutely,
agree.
man. Thank you guys so much for showing up, man. Well, we got about 200 people watching already,
Oh
more coming
yeah.
in.
Oh
Just
yeah.
to let you guys know, we're live streaming on XP channel, on Blue's YouTube channel, and
Yep.
also over on Twitch.
Yep.
So you're going to get this in 3 different areas, whoever you want to watch at any time you want to watch. That's where it's running live in concurrence with each other. So welcome aboard, guys. Welcome to the Blue Experience, which is going to be a new experience for the flight sim community. It's something that we've been talking about, we've been planning, we've been thinking about, and we're like, you know what? Let's just go for it. Flight Sim Expo is coming up. We need to go for it. And what you're watching, guys, is going to be the first live flight sim talk show ever. Now,
basically,
basically,
basically.
exactly. Let me say this: it's not a podcast. It's not a recorded session. It's going to be live, and we plan on doing this at least once a week for now for you guys. You
Yes,
guys
yes,
watch
yes.
what? 6 different streams today. You guys watch Blue stream today. You watch Captain Geo stream today. You watch Captain Canada's birthday stream today, and many more people stream today. So you guys are filled with flight simming, flying. Now it's time to sit down, sit back, relax. I got something in my hand right here. I'm not sure what Blue got over there, but we're just gonna
got a
chill.
little just drinking water, this hill country.
Yeah. Anyway, let me take these things off, man. I can't see nothing.
Yeah,
Let's
that was
do
just for the intro. That was just for
There
the
you go.
intro. Oh man,
Welcome
it was
aboard,
good,
guys.
man. It's like
Yeah.
like XP said, we've been actually talking about this over the phone for like months as an idea, something we could like get together and do like a kind of like talk about flight simulation, aviation, talk about gaming. And that's kind of where it all sparked from. You know, it's like we both do flight sim live streaming, and we talk a lot, you know, in our chat, talk a lot in our, you know, in our flights. But now we're actually taking the, I guess you could say, the flight element out of it, so we can focus just on you, just on the questions, and just on the topics, the current topics going on in the flight sim world right now. You know what I mean? And sometimes when me and him are talking, it's like, you know, I wouldn't say it gets heated, but you know, we got some opinions. We don't always agree. It's definitely
true.
interesting.
We got our opinions, man, for real.
Oh yeah,
But
oh yeah.
you know what? It's funny. We always end up talking for sometimes a couple hours, man, just discussing the flight sim industry and from top to bottom, everything. And we'll get into it. But what I love is that now you guys get to share that with us, right?
Yep.
You guys get to participate. You guys get to listen. You guys get to ask questions. You guys will get your questions answered to the best of our abilities, right? And so this is going to be a whole community event where we're going to gather once a week and we're going to share our ideas. We're going to talk about the news of the day. We're going to talk about the upcoming planes and the sceneries. We're going to rave and rant on the developers. We're going to rave and rant on X-Plane.
Oh
We're
yeah.
going to talk crap about Microsoft. We're going
Oh
to
yeah.
talk crap about everybody. And we're
Everybody's
going to
gonna get it.
exactly. And we're going to compliment everybody when they do stuff right. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
it's all out there on the table. So that's what this is all about, guys. And thank you so much for joining, man. I appreciate it. Absolutely appreciate you guys being here. So yeah, this is XP for you guys who are new to it, and
Yep.
this is Mr. Blue Games over
Yeah,
here.
you know, let me do it correctly. Let me introduce to you guys on my channel. If you've never heard of XP, also known as XP72, he streams X-Plane, Microsoft Flight Simulator, flies all over the world, obviously lands pretty well, but also crashes really well too. So you
Very
definitely
much
want
so.
to you definitely want to check him out in future streams. But we actually met in the Flight Sim Expo last year. No, 2 years ago now. 2019?
Yep.
The 2019 Flight Sim Expo where we met. I don't exactly know how. Do you know more about that story?
Actually, yeah, I do. I actually got it. I got it in my head
Nice.
because before Flight Sim Expo, just gotten into the Flight Sim community. I probably had less than 1,000 subs or something like that. And
I
it's
remember
just
that.
like Flight Sim Expo in Orlando. I gotta go. So showed up, hook up with my man Geo, Captain Geo, shout out to you. Hook up with
You?
HD Sim. But I used to watch a lot of streamers, and I still do. Blue was one of them streamers that I watched too, because his reviews, I'm like, wait a minute, what kind of camera is this guy using to do circling around airplane? This is before Microsoft.
Oh yeah,
This
yeah.
is this is using, I don't know what he used, maybe generic X-plane camera setup, or what's the other thing, X camera. But his reviews of sceneries and airports and airplanes were off the chain then, and it's even greater now. So I knew him, and he was Mr. Cool with the shades. Anybody watch Blue knows that he's like Mr. Cool, laid back in the stream. So I'm walking up to Flight Sim Expo, parked the car, got to the convention center, and I see this dude hanging out. I'm like, I know this dude. I've seen this space before. And just like how he is on streams, you guys need to know this. Same way in person. I swear. The man's no different, okay? The man's no, he's just like chilling, cool. And I just stepped up and like, yo, man, what's going on, man? I like your work. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, man, you did good work. Absolutely. And
And
that's it.
side note, before you continue, to be honest with you, I had no idea who XP was at the time. No
See?
idea. I didn't know who XP was. I didn't know who HD was. I didn't know who Captain Geo. I didn't know anybody. Like, I really didn't know very many people in the flight sim community, except for like the big major streamers. That's all I really knew.
Yep. True. Same here, man. We didn't know a lot of people, but we got to meet them, and that worked out well. And that's how we hooked up. We hooked up with the rest of the fellows. We walked the floor. We talked about flight simming some more. I even, Blue, you remember this? I
What?
even gave you what, dropped you to your hotel or
Yeah,
something. We were just talking.
I remember
We were
that.
like, yo, yeah, man. We were talking about flight simming on a different level. You know what I mean? And from then we're like, hey, man, we got to keep this going.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
he
yeah.
gave me some good encouragement about what to do. I gave him some words, you know, maybe few or maybe useless words. It doesn't matter. You know, so that's how we met. That's how we hooked up, and then the rest is history. As you can see, the man has built a very good channel over here. If you guys haven't watched Blue on my stream, you need to watch him. Trust me, completely different than how I do it. That's what I like. We both do things differently in our streams,
Yeah, yeah.
and all of it works.
And it's
So
really interesting actually because we both stream the same game and we fly a lot of the same planes, right? And yet we still make very different content. It's very different. And it's really interesting 'cause I think a lot of other streamers too in the flight sim community are kind of similar. It's the same way. Like a lot of us are all flying and streaming the same plane, but we're all very different in our personality, in our delivery, in the routes we choose, the way we, you know, say the way we, you know, everything is very different. And that's, I will say that is something that makes it difficult for, I guess, newer streamers when they first get in. Because again, they're flying the same plane as everybody else, right? They're doing a lot of the same things that everybody else is doing, so it's kind of tough to do something to make yourself stick out, to be unique, to be original when everybody else is doing that same flight from London to Innsbruck. No shame, Gio. I'm just throwing it. I know he just did that route, but I'm just saying, like everybody.
he did butter that landing today.
He did.
You guys missed your stream. He did butter that landing.
He
But
did.
yeah, but you know what's good about it is that, word to all the young upcoming streamers.
Yep.
What
Yep.
we're trying to say is that there's no need for competition or try to compete with each other. Be you, do what you do best, and people will be attracted to that, man.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
how
sir.
you get the audience to stick around with you. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. But yeah,
I agree.
different. Yeah, for real.
So definitely, you guys should definitely check out, or if you can make it this year, FS Expo in San Diego. We are not sponsored by them. I know XP already got his ticket. I'm working on getting my ticket. And it's gonna be dope. I'm looking forward to seeing him again in person, seeing some of you guys in person. I know there's gonna be a lot of different smaller community groupings happening there, and as well as being able to meet the developers, stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. But on that note, I think we should move on and talk about some of the stuff that's going on right now in Flight Sim, because I know that my chat is already asking a lot about it. I'm not sure how your chat's going over there. They're asking about some of these new planes, these new news releases, things like that, and which one do you want to start with? There's a lot going on.
It's exciting. What's coming up is exciting. But real quick before you go, man, don't skip it, man.
Don't skip it. Did I
know
skip
you get
something?
this question. I know you get this question all the time. How long have you been in the simming industry? How long have you been simming?
Simming.
By the way, he doesn't only sim airplanes, train sim,
Yeah.
What else? Airplanes, train. Do you do lawnmower sim too? No, that's Jeff Aviano. I saw him do that. For real.
I almost did Lawnmower Sim. I was this close to downloading it. I was joking about it to some friends about it, but I didn't download it myself. But yeah,
Right.
I played pretty much anything that says simulator at the end of it.
Right.
Mostly enjoy the things with wings. If it
Yep.
goes fast and if it's loud, I'm probably down for it. So that's racing, trains, flying, jets, all that kind of stuff. I'm into that kind of thing. As far as how long I've been simming, like flight simming, man, I don't even actually have a number. My YouTube channel, I started that in 2015, so that's been 5 or 6 years, 6 years ish. Yeah, 6 years.
Right.
But seriously, flight sim streaming for about 3.5, I would say, because a lot of that, my first stuff wasn't like, it was just kind of like I just threw this together, threw it on YouTube. I wasn't really trying to do nothing with it. But actual flight simming, probably I would double that number. um, I would have to, because I've been doing it since I was a kid, like real young. I just didn't know what the heck I was doing at some points. It was definitely a growth, but I've been in it for a long time.
Yep.
What about you?
And, oh man, let's see. FS Expo in Orlando was what, 2019?
Yep, yep.
So I would say 2018, really.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
still pretty fresh.
Bro, I'm still
You
new, man.
still pretty darn fresh.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
I
new
think
because
that the whole chat, both mine and yours, I think a lot of people in chat have been doing it a lot longer than you.
bro, I think so too, man. I think so.
But it's
It's,
pretty cool. Honestly, it's pretty cool to see. Like you've been only doing it for what's that? 18, 19, 20, like three,
yeah,
4 years. You progressed pretty fast, though. I mean, I know that you had a career that was around aviation. You weren't a pilot, but you were
right,
still
right.
around it, so you kind of still understood what was going on. But as far as getting behind the yoke, behind the joystick, and flying a plane, it's pretty good for as long as you've been going.
You know why? Because, I mean, look, I enjoy it. As you guys can tell, when I come on, I just get right into streaming. I block everything else out. I'm into flying and simming. Dude, I started on a old MacBook, not even MacBook Pro. You know those Apple white MacBook
Oh
that
boy,
have like
with
250,
the soft edges.
yeah, with the soft edges, 256K video graphics card. That was it. And I was getting like 3 frames per second. I was loving it. Autopilot worked. My flights were taking twice as long because it was slowing down. But yeah, and then honestly, after Flight Sim Expo, when I got and see all the Flight Sim community, everybody and how they took it seriously, and all the different background of the sponsors and the builders and the developers, I'm like, man, these guys, this is no joke.
No.
So I left Flight Sim Expo with a mission, upgrade my PC, which I eventually did a few months afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
and like just go fly and enjoy yourself every time you fly. And that's what happened. So I'm new in it, but I've just my enthusiasm hasn't waned yet. As a matter of fact, I was saying to somebody today, man, I wish I could just take like a month off work and just stream every day.
You know that
It's crazy.
wouldn't I wouldn't mind that either. You know what I
I
mean?
know, bro. Yeah.
And this is a side note, but it's frustrating sometimes as a simmer if you're not full time already. You have a full time job, because work is still priority, right? Like you still. We just lost XP. Where'd XP go?
Oh, here we go.
Oh
Yeah.
snap!
Oh, we got a little lightning outside, but I think we should be back. I'm
Hold
not sure if
on,
I'm
I
back
didn't get the
yet.
camera
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see.
XP be back in
Ah,
a second. Hold on after these
I know what
messages.
it is. Technical difficulties.
It's all good.
Let's do this right here.
Oh, he's
There we
back.
go.
And
There
did
you
it
go.
format it okay? Okay, nice, nice, nice. I was worried it
Yeah,
was
look
gonna
here.
like make you all like upside down
Man.
and things. What were we
Let me,
talking about?
let me tell you something, guys, real quick. You guys have no idea what's going on in the background here to make this multicast stream work. And
Yes,
both of us are talking together. Trust me.
yes.
We put a little bit of time into it, but anyway, damn it, there you go, Fly Guy. Fly Guy says it's Florida weather for you. Yes, I'm looking
Yeah,
outside
it's
going,
storming here
yeah,
too. I guess you're getting the same one we getting over here, man.
got the same
My
one, but
power was out for about 30 minutes before the stream started.
yep.
So,
What do you call that? You call that stream what? The
stream
stream.
curse is what I call it.
Oh yeah. So you guys who don't stream, let me tell you something. Everything works good on your computer, your PC, your test flights, all that. And the minute you go live, 5 minutes before, something happens and you get an issue.
Story
But
time, quick one
yeah,
too. So last night, me and XP, we were doing this thing right here, what we're doing right now, to test it to make sure everything's working. We're like, oh yeah, this is pretty dope. Like it looks good, the quality's pretty solid. I can hear you, you can hear me. It was like perfect. I was like, man, this is good. Like I'm like trying to find a way to break it. And then today, we get on Discord, connect, and first thing that happens is his camera doesn't work, just out of nowhere. Didn't do any, like, he hasn't even done a stream since yesterday, have you?
Haven't
Nothing.
touched anything. Yep.
Didn't touch nothing, and it's just we did the exact same thing we did yesterday, and rip. So that's the stream curse I call right there.
In fairness to the computer, I have a habit of not shutting down my computer for like a week at a time.
Yeah,
Like
me too.
seriously. So that might have a little bit to do with it. So I got a quick restart and all that. But hey, man, it's a sim game. We love it.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna be doing our things, man. But yeah, as you were transitioning earlier to, it is an exciting time, guys, in the flight simming community. Honestly.
It is an amazing time to be a
Oh
flight
man.
simmer. Like I said
Yeah.
this last year when Microsoft Flight Simulator came out, which is, we're almost at the 1 year anniversary of that, by the way. I said this last year. This is a great time to be a flight simmer because so many opportunities are happening, so many new things are coming, so many better things than what we had before. But I feel like even now, it's just becoming better, right?
Yep. True. And with the new simulator, the new kid on the block, Microsoft Flight Sim, it even makes it just like the whole thing just ramped up. But here's the funny thing about that. X-Plane, in my opinion, looks like it was going to die.
Yeah.
Microsoft came along, blew up the whole internet for like months. Nobody flew anything else. But all of a sudden, X-Plane takes on this new life of its own.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you could see that is the airplanes that are coming out for X-Plane. Don't get me wrong, Microsoft's got planes coming out. I can't wait for that PMDG 737,
Oh yes.
right?
Oh yes.
I can't wait for that Fenix A320,
Oh
right?
yes. Oh yes.
But X-Plane's got planes coming out just as well. A310 I&I builds, Rotate MD-11, Tolis A340, the Airbus Descent Falcon, just to name a few. And that's just my favorites. I mean, I'm an airliner guy. I'm not really a GA guy, and there's tons of GA planes coming out. So the growth in the flight space, in my opinion, has been propelled by Microsoft Flight
And
Sim.
then on top of that as well, as P3D developers have not slowed down either. They have been updating those aircraft. They have been releasing new versions, and I don't know if they've released anything actually new, but I know they've been releasing new versions of the planes they already had, like the 777. I heard there was a big update for that this year. I think the Quality Wings may have gotten a big update. If you guys in either the chat know any more about P3D, let us know. But I know that a lot has happened as well on the P3D side in the last year. So it's crazy. I agree with you because last year I was like, man, X-Plane, I really was one of the people thinking that X-Plane was going to die. I wasn't going to give up on it. I was like, I'm going to still stream it and play it. But Microsoft and what they're promising, based on that, was like, why do we need X-Plane? And so I think that once we got Microsoft and found out exactly what it was and what it was missing, that is when X-Plane started to rise again. And I feel like even now, I feel like Microsoft is obviously, if we had to make it a competition, Microsoft is still winning. Like, we can't say they're not. And the reason I say that is because even though me and you, who are like hardcore flight simmers, and a lot of people in the chat who are hardcore flight simmers are like, yeah, X-Plane has way better airliners and way better all this stuff. But the majority of people in the world, right, who are probably more than half of those actually arcade people who are more gamers than simmers, those people are still playing it and loving it, right? And they're loving the default A320 with no systems. You know what I mean? Like,
that hurt me,
and you know what hurts me even more is they're loving the 737 Max with no systems. They're loving the 777 from Captain Sim with the Frankenstein machine it is. And I'm seeing it in the comments because I made videos about those things, and people are complaining about it. Like, it's like we're making a lot of noise, right? The hardcore simmers are like the ones yelling, yo, this is horrible, this is bad. But the people who are not talking, not all of them, but a lot of them who are not talking, who just don't freaking give a crap about whether they can do an ILS approach in an airliner, right? Those people are just like, yo, this thing is beautiful. It's pretty. It's eye candy. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I got a sweet tooth, right? And so this is why I say Microsoft is in the big picture winning. But when it comes to the actual hardcore flight sims, I think that X-Plane and P3D kind of have a little bit of an edge until PMDG hits us with that golden 737, because that's what we all want.
Well, you make a great distinction between the hardcore simmers and just the people who casually play the game. Not worse, but it's coming out on Xbox. Jeez, man, can you imagine? But here's a funny anecdote, right? So I'll be playing X-Plane, and I'm enjoying my Tolis A321 or whatever, and I'm talking crap about Microsoft because Microsoft suck and the plane's no good. And then I jump over to Microsoft and I load up a scenery and I'm like, holy crap, this thing looks so real. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, the beauty of it, the sunset in Microsoft Flight Sim just hits you.
Yeah.
But then ATC says, "Hey man, XP72, go direct to so and so," and I hit the direct and it's broken. And I'm like, "Oh man, I miss X-Plane," and I keep going back and forth because sometimes, without ortho, X-Plane looks like garbage, right?
Oh,
If you don't have 4 TB of ortho for X-Plane 11,
at
yeah, and I
least.
have 2 of those exactly. So right now, there's good and bad between both simulators, and that's why we rock back and forth each.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
There's
gonna
still
be
so much that I love about X-Plane. Like when Microsoft came out, my X-Plane honestly for the first time has gotten to a point where I'm really happy with it. Like the Zebo is here. I'm really enjoying flying a Zebo. I got all the ortho for all the areas that I typically fly in. Like, you have those areas where you like always go. All those areas are completely covered. I have like the entire United States covered in ortho, right? And so it actually looks good. I got clouds that I like. I got the weather. You know what I mean? Like I kind of got my X-Plane set up the way that I like it. So when I get in there, I'm like, man, this is just enjoyable. I just love this. And so like so Microsoft is like it can't just take it away from me yet. I'm not done. Like I can't let it go for at least a while. Like even if the PMDG 737 comes out, there's still probably going to be a reason to go back to X-Plane.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So we're saying that the saying is when PMDG comes out with a 7.3, that's it. X-Plane is done, finished, forget about it. We're gonna delete everything. But then there's X-Plane 12, and then there's that video that they showed you of the lighting. Do you think they're gonna make X-Plane 12 just about lighting? Is what I'm
Heck
saying?
no, heck no.
That's just what they're showing us now. Now, my hope is when we get to Flight Sim Expo in San Diego in a month and a half, they're gonna announce like, here's 12, and this is what it looks like. That's what I'm hoping.
And
You know.
X-Plane and that crew, they love to just like hold on to like every bit of information they can and then just throw it up on you in a big event like Flight Sim
Exactly.
Expo. So I honestly, that's a good point. I think I do kind of expect to see X-Plane make a big move or at least a big announcement to show us, hey, we still here and we got something for you. The lighting video for me, it was pretty cool, but it wasn't like, oh, this is amazing to me personally. I
It's
wasn't
never gonna.
like,
Yeah, hold on. It's never gonna beat Microsoft's Microsoft promo videos with the birds flying over the ocean. Okay, it's never gonna beat that.
I
That
don't think so.
alone, when you see
I
that,
don't
is
see that
just so
happening
dope.
in X-Plane 12.
Right. I don't know. And then don't forget, Randazzo, which is the CEO of PMDG, he loves to go to Flight Sim Expo also. What
Mm,
is he gonna come with? Is he gonna make an announcement? Who knows?
that's
Stay
true.
tuned.
That's true.
So all we gotta do is do what I do, have like 5 hard drives in your computer so you can run everything. You
Another
know.
thing I want to say, kind of on the topic of Microsoft versus X-Plane in particular, and this is just a pet peeve of mine, something that bothers me, and the whole community does it very often, and that is people are comparing Microsoft default vanilla to X-Plane's like 8 TB of ortho scenery and add-ons. I don't like that at
Yeah.
all.
I think I'm guilty of that.
You're like, yeah, Microsoft is better because
Yeah.
X-Plane has a freaking A350, which you would never have in default, and then it has like the whole city of New York in Ultra HD 4K. I'm like, not by default. I'm like, if when I look, I did a flight on X-Plane like last week, I believe, yeah, and I flew from a beautiful ortho imagery area, and I flew out of it to like an area I didn't have any ortho for, which is in just the en route portion, the ugly portion. And
Right.
then I descended into an area that did have ortho, but that middle section I was showing everybody like this is what it looks like by default. I'm just warning you, right? Because everybody out there is gonna try to tell you that X-Plane's better than Microsoft. Not saying that I completely disagree or agree. I'm just saying that look what you're gonna get for free or by default with the base game, because you're gonna have to invest in some space to drop that ortho on if you want to look good on the ground.
Yeah, true. I guess I'm spoiled because when I load up X-Plane 11, everything that I need is already set and it's there. I don't need to go back and like my ortho game is done, by the way. I'm never downloading any more ortho for X-Men 11.
I'm
I got
kind of in the same boat too
yeah,
myself.
I got the States, I got Europe, I got a little bit of South America, I got a little bit of India, I got a little bit of Japan, I got a little bit of Russia, I got Australia on the coasts that all. So I'm like, yeah, I'll never revisit the other places. So it's done. So if you guys are considering X-Plane 11, just get yourself like a 2 to 3 terabyte hard drive, put ortho on it, and forget about it. That's it. Now Microsoft they will run up your light bill and your internet bill because you're going to be streaming that nice ortho every day, all day. But it's pretty, man. Oh man. Oh boy, I'm telling you, it is pretty. So as far as the X-Plane 11 Microsoft Wars, and I get this question in every stream I do, which one do I prefer? And I give the same answer. Right now, today, if within the next week you have no SIM and you want to get one, decide if you want to fly GA or airliners. If you want to fly airliners that are decent, and I'm not going to use the word study level because me and Blue's got to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
A high fidelity airplane that functions properly, it's going to be X-Plane. But if you want beautiful looking scenery that you fly your Cessna or your Citation or whatever over, Microsoft all the way, without a shadow of a doubt, man.
All
Yeah,
day.
all day.
But
So,
don't
yeah.
sleep on that fly-by-wire A320. That's all I'm saying. All I'm
True.
saying.
That-
All I'm saying.
That A320X mod is what I live by the way.
Bro,
If you
that
guys-
that A320NX's life on Microsoft Flight Simulator, bro. That is the life of Microsoft Flight Simulator is
Yep.
the A320NX, and it's now in the marketplace for everybody, including
Yep.
people who are jumping on the Xbox. So until something else drops, that's the life right now.
True. And they're coming out with an A380 also as well.
Yes, they
Yeah, so-
are. I haven't heard much about that lately, but it looks like it's going to be probably just as good as a 320. It's going to be free, right?
Yeah, it's free.
I
Well,
want
check
to.
it out.
Speaking of Airbus, let's talk about something real quick. I just want to we're just gonna roll. All right, guys. There's no. I mean, we have a few things we want to talk about, but this show is all about just kind of going with it, right? And so I want to talk about the 320, right? The 320 Neo we have in fly-by-wire, which we think we love. We have the A380 coming out, which is going to be amazing as well. But you told me something last night that was interesting. That fly-by-wire said in response to this new Phoenix A320 that's coming out. Do you want to share that?
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, we all, I mean, not all of us know, but Phoenix is a new A320, a Payware, and they're labeling it study level. And I'm very skeptical about that because me and XP don't really like the word study level. I would rather say high fidelity. I'm not gonna go too deep into that. But the point is, they're coming out with a Payware, so it means you have to pay for it. A320 CEO, not the Neo, I believe. I think it's just the CEO, just the regular version.
Right.
But so my thing was when I first saw this, when I first heard about this new Payware A320 from Microsoft Flight Sim, I was like, okay, that's cool. Screenshots look dope. That's pretty nice, right? That's pretty nice. But my question is, what the heck do you got on my fly-by-wire A320 though? Like what can you do? What do you bring to the table what's gonna pull me away from a free product? Now I get it, it's not the Neo, it's a different variant, but I personally don't care. I really
Exactly.
don't. I don't care if it's the 19. I don't care. You know, if it's a 21, might be a different story. But you know, yeah, I don't care between the Neo and the CEO. It's to me, and some people might hate me for this. It's the same dang plane, different engine. But my question is, what they got on my Neo, right? We don't know much about it, but what they got on it? What they gonna bring to the table? What's gonna make me pay? If it's study level, it's gonna be like, what do you think? Minimum $75, minimum USD, which is not a little bit of money.
Look, I mean, they could knock our socks off, or they could be like, okay, what is this? You know what I mean? You never know.
Yeah.
But having the equivalent of something that's heading towards being a Zebo,
Yep.
you know, if you guys know X-Men 11, there's a Zebo, and no other 7.3 is going to be able to touch that, no matter if it's Payware or not.
Yep.
A320 has done a lot of work for Microsoft and for us to fly Microsoft all the time, because 90% of the time, that's the plane we're flying in Microsoft is the A320. And we've seen from the default plane to where it is now, they're just making strides day after day after day after day. Here comes the Phoenix A320, and them screenshots look really good.
Mm-hmm.
The word study level, you know,
Yeah.
how many, okay, let's just clear it up. None of us are pilots. We have sat in airplanes before.
Yeah.
We have passengers in the airplane before. We're not
Yep.
pilots.
I'm
However,
a professional pilot in every plane.
there you go. In the simulator. Exactly. Right? None of us are pilots, however, but study level is a word that used to get thrown around a lot and is coming back again.
Yeah.
And what's the A320 for P3D? That's
The
probably
FS
gonna be-
Labs.
FS Labs is probably going to be the closest that somebody can call study level, because I've heard real world pilots say, hey, I could use this plane to study up and bone up on some things before I get back on the flight line, flying it for real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any other airplanes out there can claim that.
Uh,
That's the thing. So I prefer the word high fidelity. High
yeah.
fidelity means that most or all of the buttons work, same or similar to what it's supposed to be. Give or take a few things. And the flight modeling when you're hand flying it feels just about decent, like what a heavy airplane should feel like, or what a light airplane should feel like. I don't think you need to be a pilot to make that determination. You could tell if you just slightly pull back on the yoke or the joystick and it goes way up. That's wrong. That's not real physics, right?
Yeah.
So I call it high fidelity, man. I don't like the word study level, but let's see what Fenix A320 brings to the table. If they can match what they bring in the systems to those pictures that they showed us, bro, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be a standard, and you can't really do it. I guess like it would have to be a law in order for this to actually play out the way I'm thinking in my head. But I feel like the FAA has to approve something to be study level. And I think that most of the products that are in flight sim that are claiming to be study level would not pass an FAA approval process to be like, hey, yeah, you should be able to actually use this add-on from start to finish to do what. This is what I'm saying. If every pilot, no matter what plane you fly, you have to do recurring training every year, right? Or however often you have to do it. And you go into the real world, you go into the flight simulator facility and they have like a person there with you and you go through all these tests and you do all these safety things. If you can't do all of that exact same stuff at your home computer on that study level plane, it's not a study level plane. That's what I believe. And so I just think that some people are using it as clickbait to make people think, oh, this is better than the rest of them. The rest of them are not study level, but mine is because I put some more 4K textures on it.
Yep. My audio switch flip sounds better or something like that now.
Right. It's a study level because there's static on the mic. What?
It's almost like when they say our airplane has 5,000 new added features. Dude, rolling the mouse over and it shows left and right is not a feature. You know what I'm saying? You can't count that in your feature list. So, that's one thing that gripes us in us as seasoned simmers. I would say, am I a seasoned simmer? Are you a seasoned simmer, bro?
Am I a
say
seasoned?
so, right?
Are you?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I feel like you gotta have a little salt on you. You have a little salt on you, just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit. Man.
A little Goya on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my Latinos out there. I agree with you. But that being said, I am still excited about the 320 coming. Somebody working on a quote unquote study level. The thing is that if they do not deliver, they're gonna get smashed. That's one thing about our community, man, is that we love the heck out of people. But if you disrespect us or don't deliver on a promise or under-deliver on that promise, you will get ended. That's the best way I could say it. No pressure on all the developers out there. Just be careful with your words. That's all it is. Just be careful with your words.
Well, let me ask this. Let me step sideways here in this conversation. We are talking about, as you notice, we've been talking, and it's all about either the A320 or the 737. Why is, and chat, if you guys know, put it in chat too. Why is the CRJ like a stepchild airplane? It functions right. It's got great fidelity to it. Why is it that we don't fly it more? I mean, I'm talking to myself too.
I believe the reason, and this is actually something that I personally predicted before this Aerosoft CRJ came out to Microsoft Flight Simulator, because P3D has a CRJ. They have their own, which I think is the same one. X-Plane has its own CRJ. But the thing is, even in the real world aviation, nobody has aspirations and goals to fly a CRJ regional jet.
Damn, wow.
Even in real life, you could probably ask any real world CRJ pilot. They might say, "Hey, yeah, I enjoy flying this plane." But if you say, "All right, do you want to fly this for the rest of your career?" They're probably like, "No, I want to fly a 320 or a 73 or something else." Right? It's kind of like it's like the Cessna of airliners, right? Like you start off with this, you learn the basics. It is. Let's be honest. Jeez. It's the Cessna. Maybe not even that, because Cessnas are probably more cool. The Piper. It's like the Piper of aviation. Oh my God. The single engine Piper of aviation. You get your PPL with it. Once you get your instrument rating, all that stuff like that. Once you get your twin engine, you never go back to that thing. And so that's what I believe when the Aerosoft CRJ came out. Like, this is a like this is a test plane for me. This is what I thought. I was like, this is kind of like them trying out the new SDK with Microsoft Flight Simulator, trying to figure out how to do certain things, how to do certain systems, at what fidelity can they do this plane in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I think that next plane they come out with is going to be based off of everything they learned off the CRJ. So it's going to benefit hugely. Whatever Aerosoft drops next, which I believe they said is the A330, right? Am I correct on that?
Good.
It's going to definitely benefit off of that CRJ release. Now, I enjoy flying the CRJ, and I enjoy flying regional flights, but again, it's just not that highlight plane, you know?
No, it's funny. I'm looking at the chat. Simivator says that Boeing and Airbus fanboys are the reason CRJs don't work.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
That is definitely true. That is 100% true, actually. Even the ERJ can't stand. I mean, the Dash 8, I feel like would do better than the CRJ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. And I'm reading the comments here. The guy says it's the Piper off the airliners. Oh my God. That is nuts. Donut says it might as well fly the DC-6 at this point.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I just an observation. I noticed that, you know, if I sit down and I have 2 days out of the week to stream, I'm going to go to the A320 and 737 automatically. I don't like choose a CRJ, and it's a good plane. Yeah, I mean, barring the couple of incidents I've had with it. Say nothing. Let me take a sip here. You know.
Yeah, we all know about that.
It's a good plane, man. But
you hated it though. You hated it though. I remember you telling me I don't like a CRJ. Not as much as you hate the DC-6, but you do hate the CRJ.
Yeah, DC-6 now takes the cake on the hater list for me. Sorry, guys. I know. It used to be the MD-88. You know, rotate MD-88. MD-80 and X-plane. I used to hate that plane. And between Spags and Captain K. Peter King, they forced me to fly that thing. Geo also forced me to fly that airplane. And I came to love it. And then same thing with the CRJ. I didn't want to fly it. I don't want it. And then one day, like, Donut came and gave away like 10 copies of the damn thing on the stream. I was like, you know what? I got to fly this plane. Now I'm hitting on the DC-6, which is a great plane. And maybe one day I'll pick it up and start tinkering around with it and grow to love it.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Like, if you don't like it now, you're not gonna like it later. It's not that kind of thing. It's not that kind of thing.
Mr. Martinez in chat says you need 4 hands to fly the CRJ. You do. You do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah, you absolutely do. But just a side note, just an observation, man. You know. But hey, man, it is what it is. But you know, back to the theme, there's tons of other planes coming out. You know, that's kind of like Microsoft Flight Sim planes that we're talking about. But for X-Plane, it's not dead yet, man.
It's not. They're still releasing stuff, and I was surprised. Like, rewind back to last year when I believe it was the first INI A300 came out, right? Like the week of Microsoft Flight Simulator, I think it was. I think it was like the week before, or like within 7 days of Microsoft coming out. And I was like, really, this is a very interesting marketing strategy for you to release X-Plane airliner for this price right before Microsoft comes out. And all of us are buying the premium deluxe edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And you want us to drop the exact same amount on one plane, on the X-Plane. Actually, a little bit less, but still, it was like, ooh. But they showed that they are coming with it. And a lot of other developers, I feel like if you're going to release something on X-Plane, it can't just be basic anymore. Like, it has to be incredible.
Very important point. X-Plane's got a standard now that if you're going to charge money for an airplane, you better make sure that thing is good. Microsoft, you can drop the 737 Franken plane, or you can drop the 777 Franken plane that says 747 in the FMC. That's a different story.
Oh my God!
You can't do it. You can't do it in X-Plane.
Don't get me started.
Out the building. Yeah.
Side note: that thing had 4 engines in the center panel. That thing, like not the throttle, but the little, you know, what the heck you call that thing? The
you
screen.
bought it, didn't you? On the iCast.
Yeah. On the iCast, that thing had 4 engines, and they still spooled up and everything. You hit that left engine 1 and 3 came on. You hit that right engine 2 and 4 came on. I was like, when that happened, I was like, okay, these people trying to screw us over. That is not okay at all. Anyway, hey, that's just a side note. We ain't gonna go there. I have a whole video talking about that if you guys want to know more about my thoughts. So
let me get the bleep button over here. Yeah, that's just wow.
Do you have a bleep button?
Yeah, that would make one.
Oh
But
my
no,
God.
look, for years I think they did that in FSX,
Yeah, they did.
and I think that's a FSX mentality.
Yeah.
You can't do that over here in X-Plane, and soon Microsoft, you're not going to be able to do that. People are going to notice the difference.
Yeah, they're basically dropping
Yeah.
model planes.
Exactly.
Model planes. That's all they're
Pretty
on.
looking planes. That. Somebody in chat says the working title CJ4 is good. The
Oh, it's
citation form.
amazing.
I haven't flown that plane yet, man.
Yeah,
I need to get a hold of
yeah.
it. There's not enough hours in the day and the week that I have to sit down and fly all these planes.
I just don't know if it's your kind of plane, bro. I don't know if it's your kind of plane. It might be just a little too light for you.
Chief Sim Pilot, one of my moderators, he's the one that he just got that plane on lock. Like that's his personal private
I
jet,
see Chief flying the Longitude a lot, actually.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
I'm not a
does
huge
very
fan
good.
of because of reasons, but I like the CJ4. I love the CJ4 by Working Title. Working Title is an amazing team, and the fact that Microsoft swooped them up was an extremely smart decision.
Right. Hold on. Slam Cannon in chat says Jay Rollon is going to release a CRJ in Microsoft as well. Really?
Why?
Okay. Oh Jesus. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's got auto throttle. I don't know.
No, it doesn't. I have it on X-Plane. It does not have auto throttle. It has less auto throttle than the one we have. Like, if you can have less auto throttle, this one has less. So,
wow.
I mean, nothing. I love it. Honestly, nothing against Jay Rollin. I actually do love the CRJ 200. This is one he has on X-Plane. Right. But no, bro, like not yet. Not yet. It's not time. It's not time.
There's a request. There's a request. I'm just looking at chat. There's a request in chat that both of us fly to Concorde together.
That's not happening either. Oh, that's on X-Plane, ain't it?
Is that X-Plane?
I think it's on X-Plane.
It's on X-Plane. It's the time of the day, man. It's the time of the day I just don't have to learn these planes for me to not make a complete total ass of myself, just halfway. You know what I mean?
I feel like a Concorde would be fun to fly in a crew setting. Of all planes, just throwing that out there, because I know it has a lot of knobs and buttons in it.
Exactly. The DC-6 need a crew plane.
That's Concorde a great crew plane. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Them little planes that have like 1 million buttons and no automation, that's what needs the crew.
That's why D6 had a automated crew built in. Yeah, I like that.
Bro, exactly. That's what it is, man. But hey, it's all good. But I mean, Rotate MD-11 is supposed to be coming out too. I don't know when, but they've been working on it for a minute.
That thing has been in the works for longer than some people in the chat have been alive.
Well, so here's my question to you. Is it right, or is it ethical, or is it something that developers say, hey, I'm building a plane for the simulator, but they don't have a concrete time frame, or they sit on it for 2-3 years? I know development is hard. I can't write a line of code, so I don't know what it takes to develop a plane. But sometimes I think they're trying to ice other people out the market to say, hey, I'm building the plane, so you don't even bother. Yeah. But then you still wait 2-3 years for it.
Yeah,
Is that right?
I have mixed feelings about that. I would prefer to go the INI route, or they're like, hey, we're making an A300 or an A380 and it drops a week later. Or I call it the Orbix route as well. They're like, hey, Dubai City Pack is coming out. It announced today and it comes out, and they don't say nothing about no release date. It's coming soon. 10 screenshots. 24 hours later, it's in the marketplace. Like, that's my kind of stuff. I'd rather not know about it and then get excited about it, and then it happens within a few months, or even 6 months max if it's like an airliner. But like in MD-11's case, where they announced that thing like 5 years ago, I don't actually know the timeline, but still it feels like it's been like 5-10 years. That's a lot of birthdays, man. And I don't know. I agree with. I think something that should happen in all development, which comes with scenery and aircraft, is that they should be able to block off like an aircraft. Like if somebody is gonna do a really freaking good job at it, like Rotate, who's a great developer, and say, hey, we're making an MD-11, so all y'all don't make no MD-11s. That's cool, because what would happen if he did not announce he was making an MD-11 5 years ago? Then we'd have like 3 other horrible MD-11s by other people probably. Seriously.
It's true.
Or we'd have a situation like Flight Factor, and I'm just calling all kind of people out today. It's what this, I'm just letting you guys know this is how I'm gonna be. This is not my normal stream time. This is beyond. This is like my after dark. So there's not much filter for me.
This is call out Thursday. We're calling everybody out.
But For example, like Flight Factor decided to they decided to develop a 787 when the whole community wants a 777 to be upgraded, and Magnite already has a 787, which is becoming better over time. It's the same thing. I just don't like it when two solid quality developers are working on the same plane. Yes, competition is good, but our community is so small. It's like if two people working on 787s, that means nobody's working on a bunch of other stuff, right?
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Somebody says it's the blue shade room that's going on right now.
Blue shade, I like it. I gotta put the glasses back on. I
It's the
gotta
blue
put the
shade room.
shades back on.
But I mean, behind the scenes, guys, I have a group of guys around me that when we get to and talk, we talk flight sim all the time. Like
Yeah.
that's what we do. And one of the things that me and me and Mr. HD Sim been going back and forth on is the Magnite 787.
Which I've been
Magnite
talking
787.
about.
Exactly. It's been out forever.
Yeah.
And they've worked on everything. It's a beautiful plane now. Even the flight modeling has changed. I own the plane. I flew it a couple times. But I just believe for airliners, before you do anything else, FMC is got to be the core.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a good FMC or a MCDU or something like that, in my estimation, I don't trust to take that plane on VATSIM. I don't trust to take it on Pilot Edge. I don't trust to take it on POSCON or, so forth. And I'm imploring developers, if you're thinking about doing a plane, please make one of the top of the list is FMC, a custom FSC and ND.
Yes.
It's something about, and I think that's what keeps people away from buying it. Because honestly, PMDG's planes, the 777 and the 74 and all that, I see better looking planes in X-Plane graphics wise on those.
Oh, yeah.
But the
You're paying for the FMC.
Right. But the reason why the PMDG is so well loved is because it's got that custom FMC. It's important. It's part of the airplane. It's not a Franken plane. So, Yeah.
I agree.
So,
I agree with you.
yeah.
And I get it that some people are like, all right, well, I want to work on this plane. I know I can 3D model or whatever, and then they can make a great 3D modeled plane, and then they're like, all right, the FMC is going to come later. I think as far as where the state of the community, the core of your audience is, because here's the thing that you have the core of the audience and you have the outer core of the audience, right? So like I would believe that me, you, a lot of you guys who are watching the stream are at the core of the audience. Like there's certain things that we all want, but then there's the outer core, the people I talked about earlier who do fly the 737 Max on Microsoft Flight Center because they don't care that it has no systems, right? It's okay. I'm not dissing those people. I'm just saying that's a different aspiration in flight sim, right? But if you can satisfy the core people, now this is something I believe that PMDG did a great job with on the DC-6. They went for the core. They went for hardcore simulation as much as they could. And then on top of that, they built helper systems for people who don't care about all those extra things, right? And so I think that model is a great model, and I think more developers should follow along with that. Like, go make that plane as freaking hardcore, detailed as you can make it, and then try to invest some time on then not dumbing it down, but allowing some extra maybe iPad features or scroller buttons, whatever, something like a engineer, to help them fly that for people who may not be streaming or flying for 5 years, like somebody who's just getting into it. Because somebody, honestly, if you're just getting a flight sim, you could actually fly the DC-6. As complicated as it looks, you could, and I just think that's a good model.
Oh, by the way, Brian Harris says that the DC-6 has more auto throttle than the CRJ. I'm just saying.
That's 100% true. 100% true.
Brian also says that Blue should market his shades and XP should market his beard wax.
I do have Blue Game shades on the website. I'm just kidding. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're holding out on me.
But I can provide an Amazon affiliate link. I will only get like 3 cents from it, but it's okay. You can get your own Blue Game shades.
There you go. Nice one. Ray-Bans, if you're watching, we could sponsor you. I'm just saying, Ray-Bans. There you go. But man. But you're absolutely right with these airplanes, man. It's so much that goes on in community with developers. Now, as I said, I'm not a developer. I can't write a line of code, but if you want people to take you seriously, well, look, if you want to make a quick buck, you put in a Franken plane and you call it a day. You
Kept
get
it
people.
simple.
But if you want to make a good plane, start with the core systems first and build out from there. Look, let's get this straight. You guys in the audience, you guys are so critical to any product that comes out is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I love it because it keeps people honest, right?
Yep.
The audience is very critical because I've seen them take on flight factor over the A320, saying that the angle of the B pillar in the cockpit was 2 degrees off from the
Wow.
real thing.
Wow.
And it was a huge argument on chat about that. That's how detailed some people get. They take this thing personally.
Yeah.
So, but I think you will be excused and you can work on those things if you get that system down first. You know what I mean?
I agree 100%.
You get the system down first, you're going to be good to go, man. But yeah, it's one of those things that's frustrating to have a half done. So somebody's in chat was saying, what about those developers who make a half done plane with promises to upgrade and finish it and never do? You know what I mean? It's like they get you like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna, we're gonna get it done, but year and a half later, somebody run off with the code or something, and then it doesn't get updated.
Yeah.
That's
Broken promises are
promises, man.
not good. Not good at all.
Not good, bro. But yeah. Also, I would love to have an informal poll on a different note about airliner flying versus GA flying versus the middle ground, which is flying
like business
jets. Because reason why I'm asking, that Airbus Descent Falcon is coming out.
Yeah.
And that's one business jet I'm looking forward to. Actually, I think there's also the Global Master 3000 is coming from the guy that made what's that JR
The
plane
TBM?
name? TBM, yeah, Puerto Rico.
Hot Start.
Hot Start, I think, is making
I think I may be wrong, but I thought he was partnering with the guy who made the Saab 340 X, the one on X Aviation. I can't remember his name.
Yep.
I believe they're working together on that. But that's gonna be for X-Plane, right?
That's for X-Plane, yeah. What is the breakdown between GA flying? Are there more GA flyers out here, but not streamers, or are there more airline flyers out there? I mean, what do you think, in your opinion?
Let us know in the chat too. What you guys think? Do you think it's more airline flyers, GA flyers, or business jets, I guess, or like regional business jet category area? My personal thought though on that is, in the flight sim community, I would say airliner for sure. If you get out to like the like real life, you might find more GA, because the people who are in the GA have had a taste of it. Like they have a connection to it. People who are in the GA are like they're in part of that thing. If you're in the airliners, it's because you just love, like, you may love plane spotting, you love traveling, you just love the big engines, the loud sounds, things like that. But I think that honestly, and I think it's pretty obvious too, the majority of the flight sim community online are flying airliners and are watching airline content. And I think GA is second, and I think business jets are last. That's my
I'm looking at a chat, and most people are saying airliners, man.
Same here.
70-30 says Geo. Geo's like 70-30. I think so. Although we got some great GA streamers, man. We got Two-Tone Murphy that comes to mind, and Pilot Peely. They're doing GA exclusively.
Yeah.
And they got their following. Like they have whenever they fly.
I'm like, I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how you guys did it, because I jump in between both. I'll stream airliners, I'll stream GA, I'll fly helicopters as well. And when I do airliners, I get a significant more response from flying an airliner, which is honestly, in my opinion, it's like less action. When you fly GA, unless you're doing a long flight, like you have like a bunch of touch and goes, or you're stopping at different places, you're going turn, doing it, stuff like that. You do like 5 flights in 1 2-hour long stream in a GA, and you do like 1 flight in 1 2-hour long stream, and on airliner. So yeah, I mean, it's great. I was really happy for them, and I was like, man, they really did a good job, and they're really entertaining to watch too. But I think the majority of the community are flying airliners.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember if it was V1 Simulation who said it, or somebody else, a real world pilot. It goes, the reason why people love to fly airliners and simulators is because it's something that more than likely they'll never, ever, ever, ever get to do in real life.
That is true.
Versus a GA plane, you can go get a Cessna right now tomorrow and do a one of those discovery flights with it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It's more accessible to you if you want. You can get your private pilot license. You can go fly it.
I agree.
Airliner, yeah, forget it. You're gonna go from the CRJ, regional carriers before you even touch
If you want
airline.
to fly an airliner, if you didn't know, you got to start
Yeah.
with the Cessna or Piper.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be with that for a long time. And eventually you might get to fly King Air. And probably not even that.
Eventually, a 20 King Air is true.
Or a
But,
TBM.
but also for me, the thing with airliners I like is flying and getting to my destination, which is 600-700 miles away within an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's like, we get all these great sceneries, Corfu, you name it, Loe, just a bunch of them, Jamaica, and you can literally leave Miami, jump on a flight, fly over Cuba, look down at the ortho and go, wow, and land in Jamaica. And the way flight sims are now with Microsoft and Explain Ortho, you're there. You're immersed in it for a good couple of minutes going, wow,
Yeah.
I made that flight. And with GA stuff, you can tour, like I did Microsoft. I flew over my house, see where I lived, see if it was going to show up. Then that was it. You know what I mean? So
Is that all you did?
That's all I did, bro.
That's all you did.
I
Y'all
took
need
off from-
to y'all need to expose XP to some GA adventures, because he don't really know. He don't understand yet. Not yet.
I don't know.
He don't understand yet.
I don't know, man, for real. I know. I took off out of Lantana and goes, okay, go east of the ocean and go down, and my house is somewhere going to be in that vicinity. Yeah, okay. I see it. I'm good. Airliners, man. Wow. No, bro, I'm not going to land any more taxiways. It's good. Actually, that wouldn't happen with a GA plane because it's so damn slow.
What,
It takes
landing on a taxiway?
Yeah, man.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Oh,
Really?
You could still land on a taxiway in a GA and not even know. Yeah. Yeah, that could happen still. I remember one time I landed at the wrong airport.
What?
In a GA plane. Yeah. 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 All kind of things happened on that GPS. Didn't work out.
Well, it does happen in real life. Still to this day, pilots still do that. They think they have a visual on the airport. The tower says clear for the visual or whatever, and they're like, okay, we got it, and they go land and go, this doesn't look like Hawthorne.
The wrong airport.
Wrong airport. Happens in real life, man. So, yeah, it's just one of those things, man.
Yeah.
But
Somebody says Harrison Ford did in real life, landed on a taxiway.
that's true. In John Wayne, KSNA. Wow. He landed on a taxiway for real.
That's
no
crazy.
joke. Jeez, man. Wow.
That was crazy, man.
Oh yeah, but what time are we coming up on?
We're actually coming to the end of our show, actually, for our first episode. Yeah, already. Just about an hour long. So I think it's time for us to wrap up. Maybe take some questions first before we leave. What do you guys think?
Yes, hold on. Let me make a statement. Ladies and gentlemen, we got V1 Simulations in the house. He's watching. He goes, just ask Southwest about landing at the wrong airports. Oh boy. What's going on, V1?
I feel like Southwest is in some ways, in a smaller way, the Ryanair of the U.S.
Oh,
people gonna hate me for saying that, but I just want to throw that in the atmosphere, and then I'm gonna leave.
Well, I mean, the owner of Ryanair, or the CEO, did come to the States and consulted with Southwest to see how they run their business. I guess they took landing tips as well. I don't know. It's true, man. What do you in chat, man? What do you guys think about the format? Loving it? Once a week we're doing this? Is that how it is? What do you guys think about it?
Yeah.
Should we go for an hour and a half? Let us know in the chat, man. Our thought process on this is that this is something that is missing.
Yeah.
We have all the flying, we have all the streaming, we have everything on it, we have all the videos, but we need a format where we can talk. We can once a week. There's always news coming out in the flight sim community.
Yeah.
And it needs to be covered where everybody can get in chat in one place and talk about it. Also, we're gonna start, soon looking at questions and comments in the chat and responding to them if you guys have questions to ask.
Yeah.
Even after this video is done and it's uploaded to YouTube, and in the comment section we'll go through and see if you guys have great questions. We're going to pick them up and run through those. So Absolutely. We appreciate the audience here. We appreciate you guys joining us for this first BLU-XPerience, man. It's good stuff. And
Absolutely.
yep, so definitely, man. Yeah, this hour went by quick.
It
I
did.
think
And this is what I was saying. This is one of the reasons why we want to do this show in the first place, is because me and XP, and not just me and him, but me and other people, him and other people, we tend to have conversations just like this, just on the phone or on Discord. And we just kind of like want to have that with the rest of you, right? Have that, let you guys in. Let's discuss what's going on. Like if something were to upset the community between now and next week, we're probably talking about that and being angry about it. I don't know. Or something amazing happens, because we kind of share that experience with you guys. Because I mean, I don't know, it's like a round table, but it's not. I mean, for me, it's kind of like I was telling XP my thought and my vision of the show is kind of like go into like the equivalent of a flight sim bar. Almost like you just go up to the bar, right, and you're just talking with some guy about flight sim. You know what I mean? Like what you wouldn't do in real life, because they probably don't care about airplanes. You're like, hey, I like airplanes.
yeah, they'll kick you out, they'll beat you up and kick you out.
You're
Like what?
Nobody cares about airplanes.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah, it's true. Definitely. So, but yeah, we as Blue said, we talk about this all the time. It's something that's on our minds. Obviously, that's why we're here, watching two guys yabber and yabber on. But I like the community. I like the guys in chat. Just love everybody being here and doing their thing. So, any questions? Any pressing questions other than when is me and Blue gonna fly together on a shared cockpit?
Yeah, besides that, any questions in the chat? Let us know. We were prepared for that one. We're not prepared to answer still, but we're prepared for that one.
V1 says, "I love the title flight sim bar. I know I'm drinking."
I know I'm drinking. That's funny. I do got my hill country. Don't sleep on hill country, guys. Stay hydrated.
There you go. There you go.
I'm on a workout journey right now. So yes,
man.
sir.
I know.
Oh man.
So let's answer the first question.
What you got?
Microsoft or X-Plane 11?
Mm.
And I'm gonna give you the real answer. Both, for different reasons. Plain and simple. If you have the ability to have both, go for both. Right? If you're in airline flying, definitely X-Plane. No apologies from me. That's what you should be flying. If you like the GA stuff, Microsoft is beautiful. You can discover new places. You can do like Blue and discover animals in Africa. Jesus,
yeah,
man.
Heck yeah, giraffes, elephants. That was freaking fun. I rode an elephant in Microsoft Flight. I am the first flight streamer to ride an elephant in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I can say that. Yes.
Really?
No. So, but yeah, you could do that. My answer to that question in response to you as well is that I would say, for you, if you're watching, if you're just brand new to flight simulation, like this is your first flight simulator ever, like the first choice, and you don't know much about aviation either, Microsoft is the way to go for me. I would say start with there. They have a lot of good helpers that help assist you to fly the planes. It has a nice system to teach you through tutorials. And then once you get a taste of that and you're filled up and you're like, I want more, then move over to X-Plane. But if you're somebody who's like, I love aviation, I'm a pilot, I'm a student pilot, X-Plane probably be the way for you to go. But that's my answer to that.
Wow. All right. Second question, controversial one. You guys ready? Don't go too crazy. A320 or 737?
Oh, can we just say Airbus or Boeing?
Airbus or Boeing. There
what
you
team
go.
are you on, guys? Airbus or Boeing? Send it. Let's go ahead and get it out the way. First stream. Airbus or Boeing. Let's see what you got.
Real world pilots are not allowed to comment.
Honestly, V1 might pick Boeing.
No, man. You picked it.
Tell me, V1, if you had the opportunity to leave your A320 at the same job, same company, same everything, and fly 737, would you do it? That's my question.
You would. 737 equal auto ban.
Or from a 320 to a 78 or a 777 or something like that. That's a whole different lifestyle, though. I won't even go there. Right. I got Boeing in my chat.
I got Airbus. I got 50-50 over here, man.
50-50, man.
Look, honest answer from me. Not a pilot, never flew a real airplane, but I've been into both cockpits multiple times. And from a purely cockpit layout standpoint, and Blue can attest to this, having the yoke in front of you or the side six to your left you feel way more comfortable and relaxed with the side stick to your left because you got that room to bring out your tray table and eat your crew meal on it. But like when I did the long haul in the A350, I was happy I didn't have a yoke in front of me the entire time
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I can get to, to cross my legs, do whatever, and all that stuff. So, but for me, from an airplane geek point of view, 737, man. I just every time I pan up to the overhead and look at all those switches and actually know what they do, I get this fuzzy warm feeling, right? Airbus basically you just click like battery 1, battery 2, ground power, you're done. Boeing makes you have to wind up the switch and roll it back and set it and snap it and hold it down for 15 seconds and let it go. And it's like old, circuit breaker panels. You can hear clicking and clanging and, whatever.
You hear everything.
You hear everything, the two philosophies, because people ask me all the time, hey, man, how do you transition from flying a Boeing in the sim to a Airbus in the sim? You have to switch your mindset around.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times I've been flying the A320 so much, I get back to the Zibo and I'm like, shoot, where's that switch again?
That happened to me yesterday. I did a whole week or two of flying the Zibo 737. I hopped in the Neo, the 320 Neo, and I was like, what does a MiG do? What's an MCD? Where's the flight plan? Like, I was like, yeah, man, you gotta like completely switch gears when you hop into the other. But they're both so like I don't know. I'm so comfortable, I feel like, in either or. If I hop in either cockpit, I don't have to worry about going and trying to watch a tutorial on how to fly it again. I can just hop in there and be like, all right, we're flying a Zibo today. All right, we're flying a 320 today. I shouldn't say Zibo. We're flying a Boeing today. You know what I mean? So, but for me, it's hard. When somebody asks, I'm like both. I'm like probably more like, I'm not good with math, but 49, 51. Boeing is the 51. But it's like super close for me, and it's only Boeing because Boeing is kind of where it started. It's like my you can't forget where you came from kind of thing. I started out on Boeing doing flight sim, so but I love either or. When it comes to the heavy airliners, it's the 787 over the A350, but they're both freaking amazing. It's hard to decide. I just love planes, man. I just love planes.
Yeah. Honestly, let me give you guys a little insight so you could, from a streaming point of view, if I'm rushing home and I have to jump on the simulator and fire it up and just get going, Airbus.
I was like, yeah, Airbus all day.
Yeah, my flows on Airbus is like so cool and so quick and so good. If I want a challenge for the yoke in one hand, in the left hand, and the throttle in the right, and I'm sticking rudder in it, Boeing all the way. You understand? It's more involved. It's just, so both of them have their highs and lows, man. No wonder these two airplanes are like 50-50 as far as popularity in the world.
Yeah, man.
That's it. There's like everything else doesn't even exist. Yeah, there's the A350 and the 787, but the A320 and 737 are just those two.
Now I have this question, and I know we're starting to go a little long. We need to wrap it up, but do you think it's possible for either Airbus or Boeing to actually replace the popular 320 family and the 737 family with something like of the same, like something that does the same thing, basically just upgrading it? Like, I know we have the Max, but I won't count the Max because it just has a different screen and a few other things. But like to actually replace the 320 family, like, you think it's possible, or how long until you think that'll happen? Like, what do you think?
Honestly, unfortunately, you're not gonna like my answer. I don't see it happening, and then when it does happen, it's gonna be some AI airplane flying kind of BS.
It's gonna be drones. I think drones are the next step after the 737.
Airbus already have that A350 doing taxi takeoff and landing on its own, like today, right now.
Really?
And that's a scary future for me. You know what I mean? So I think they're going to milk the crap out of these planes, and they should, because they've proven workhorse. And but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be
probably going to require the entire aviation industry and travel agency to change in order to actually get those planes out of circulation.
Exactly, because they're gonna be picked up by other countries.
Because when a 320 goes out of service, it's gonna be sold to probably some cargo company or nonprofit, right? And then they're gonna use it for another 100 years. So like, when is it ever gonna end? You know what I mean?
Dude, they're still flying DC-6s down in South America. What's wrong with you? Passengers and cargo.
They're still flying DC-6s, DC-3s. These planes are obviously inefficient, but they're still flying them. You know what I mean? So, like, it's I don't think
All
we're
right.
gonna see A320 in our lifetimes, or
Well,
737s.
exactly. Well, guys, without running the risk of boring you all to death even more, we're gonna wrap it for the
Oh
first
yeah.
episode of the
Oh
Blue
yeah.
Experience. I hope you guys like it, love it. Hit that like button. Check out Blue's channel. Check out my channel. I haven't been paying attention to chat on this episode. We'll do it more. As I said, after the video is over, go to the comment section, ask your questions there. We're gonna make a list of this stuff, and we're gonna be answering them for you.
Yeah.
What we're promising you guys is that yes, we do have sponsors that reach out to us from time to time, but we're going to do our best to be as fair and objective as possible when we talk about add-ons, airplanes, products, and just let you guys know what we really, really, really think about it.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
You can expect that from us.
Agree.
Yeah.
100% agree with that. But yeah, I don't have anything else to add to that, man. So I think we're good. Thank you guys so much for coming out, supporting our first one. Again, we're gonna try to make this about a weekly thing, I believe. Best as possible. So Thursdays at this time.
Everything at this time.
And
Exactly.
if you guys enjoy the format, if you like it, if you have feedback, something you would like to see, obviously leave that down in the comments after the video ends. And we'll be reading them, we'll be watching them. We do plan to be able to show some videos in the future as well on the stream and different types of content throughout to interact with. And like he said, we'll be answering more questions here and there. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. XP, I think that this was success. This was a success, man. I was really excited leading up to this. We collabed before on a stream once, but it's been a long time. But we've been talking, and we've always been talking and communicating, and like, I mean, weekly almost. We always talk, so it's not like we've forgotten about each other, you know, supported each other's streams and things like that. So again, make sure you guys support XP's channel. I think you're streaming tomorrow, I believe. Are you streaming tomorrow?
I'm supposed to stream tomorrow. I'm trying to wrap some stuff up. I don't know, guys. I do apologize to the last minute, but I'll let you guys know. On next week's episode, Blue, we're going to talk about a certain, let's say, FMC. We're going to be talking about a certain FMC. We're not going to give it away.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
We're going to go in depth on certain FMC and hardware and business practices and different things. We're going to be getting into that next week.
Let's do
so
it.
stay tuned for that. But anyway, Blue, let's roll that track.
All right, let's roll the track. Remember, you have 3 choices, guys. Give up, give in, and give it all you got. Peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time.
See you later. Have a great one.
Aye. See you guys.
Later.
Oh, he got the shades on. I didn't put my shades on.
Rocking the shades, bro.